ult 88%. Good shield, Winston. Good job, you guys. Good job, see? Whew, we did it. Nothing to it.
Play of the game.
Now look, like I get it. He locked Sombra. He didn't change the whole game. I get it, but like your attitude is a huge part of whether you win or not. Like if you make the team toxic, everyone starts tilting, and it's like harder and harder to win. If you just keep a positive attitude, it's always easier to play. And I know it's hard, but like, just give it a shot. Trust me.
So this clip you guys just saw is from a game I played this morning, and unfortunately I didn't record any of the game and used Shadowplay to record the last 10 minutes, but by the time I hit record I had already been out of that match for a couple minutes, so what you see here is all that I had left of the gameplay. What I'm talking about in the game and what happened was one person had re-queued randomly with someone that they had played with in a previous match, and that person had auto-locked Sombra the previous match, never switched off hero, and done it again this game. Now, in total, there was 3 people bickering, and for anyone who doesn't know, Overwatch is a game that's played 6v6. So 3 people fighting amongst themselves is half of the team. And Overwatch is a game where there's different roles. It's not like Call of Duty where someone who's a really good fragger can carry almost an entire team by themselves. Overwatch is a game, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors in the sense that certain things beat out other things and certain combinations work better than others. So that being said, half the team fighting amongst themselves and not really coordinating or choosing to help each other out, the game is pretty much doomed. And right off the bat, we started with a really bad attitude. For one, no one was using a mic except for me, and before I had even selected my hero at the start of the match, someone had already commented in chat that such and such is going to throw, and they auto-picked Sombra and cost them the last game, blah blah blah. So I tried to step in and be the mediator and, point out that the match has just started, and that, starting off tilted is not a great idea, yada yada. I usually do try to step in and just keep a positive attitude. Everyone gets frustrated from time to time, and that's what this video is going to be about. Maintaining a positive attitude is extremely tough sometimes, so I've put together a little list of some steps you can take in the future if you're feeling upset to just keep tensions down and just try to have as good of an experience as possible. The first thing on my list is to just filter yourself. It's really easy to get upset and make a reactionary statement or comment in chat that is just going to escalate things. Just because you're having a bad game doesn't mean everyone else is or everyone else needs to. Keeping negativity out of chat does a lot to support the people that you're playing with. If you're having a shortcoming and someone else has to pick up that slack, you being negative on top of your negative performance doesn't really encourage them to continue to hold your slack, and they're a lot more likely to just drop whoever they're playing and start throwing the game. You're a lot better off changing those negative comments you were going to make about someone else into compliments. If you see someone doing something bad, but someone else doing something good to make up for it, compliment the person who's doing well. It'll encourage the person who's doing worse to try and do better, because they're going to chase those compliments. And it also just makes a bit more of a cushion for that person who's doing better that needs to carry for you or whoever is doing poorly. If you are choosing to use this strategy, make sure that your comments are coming across as genuine and not sarcastic. It's really easy to be upset trying to be positive, but your comments coming off as condescending. My second tip is to just change it up. If you're playing DPS but you're not able to land important shots that you need to be hitting, maybe try switching to a tank or a support role. They are very vital roles that a lot of people don't pick up just because they're not as exciting to play, but they're arguably the most important spots to fill in an Overwatch comp. You just need to make sure that you're going to communicate what you'll be doing before you do it. A comp with 3 or 4 healers on it can work in some situations, but for the most part you're always going to want to inform your team what's happening, because if you switch off of a DPS to go to support, your team is probably going to need to find someone who can switch to the DPS to fill up that damage that's now going to be missing from comp. Also make sure you think about what you're going to switch to. Even if you stay in DPS or go out of that into a tank or support role, make sure you're picking someone that's viable. If you switch to, let's say, Roadhog, and that's not working out for you and you end up switching to a healer or another tank, that's ult charge that's lost, and it's a new change to the dynamic that your team might have already been adapting to in order to fill that vacancy that was in your previous role. Lastly, and this is a very sensitive one, take a break. Even if you've just done one match for the day and you've had a bad start, that doesn't mean that you need to keep going and get a few hours in and just continue to frustrate yourself. Sometimes taking a 20-minute break and watching a YouTube video or eating something or talking to your friends that you're playing games with is enough to calm you down and get you in a better headspace. A lot of times people who had a bad game will jump right into the next one telling themselves that this one's going to get better, the last one was a fluke. But if it just doesn't turn out better, they're just going to get more upset and continue to be toxic to their teammates and just upset themselves further. A lot of times, just taking a quick break for a few minutes is all you need to clear your head and come in with a breath of fresh air and just change up the way things were going without having to consciously change how you are playing or even follow any of the previous steps that we have in this video. It's important to remember that at the end of the day, this is just a game and you can choose to turn it off whenever you want. Preferably don't do it in the middle of a match, but if it's what you need in order to just keep your sanity and not let the game influence your outside world, just take a quick break and relax. So in conclusion, it's just important to remember that it's just a game. It's something that I say a lot, and it's hard to remember sometimes, and you get frustrated without thinking about it, and then everything boils over. But it's just important to be conscious of that fact and follow these steps when you need them. It's something that I've recently started to do, and I'll do mental checks and think, am I upset? Are things going all right? What can I change? And it's improved my game, and I'm having a lot more fun. Following these steps has also made me a lot more tolerant of other people that are having a bad game, and made me a lot more calm when I fill that role and step in as a mediator when some people are having problems with each other, like in the clip that I started with. We all go through it and we're all guilty of it, but if you really think about it and make an effort to change your attitude, it's not too hard to get out of that rut and just make your experience of gaming, no matter what game it is, a lot more enjoyable. But anyway, without further ado, this has been Ben aka Tapport. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, a comment, and let me know what you want to see in the future. Thank you. Peace.